Not sure if many of you know, but we do have a virtual tier within the Design Coven, virtual pro member tier, which includes 3 virtual meetings a month where we set intentions. We do group coaching. So bring all your questions. We answer those questions and you get to learn from other people going through the same struggles as you. We also do a business practice meeting. So we'll have somebody on to share a business practice that we can all benefit from. And then we also do a product training. So getting a sustainable, eco-friendly line to come on, share who they are so that we can be supported with other like-minded businesses. And if you're not quite ready for pro, you can always join our free community where you will connect with other like-minded holistic interior designers. You don't have to be an interior designer if you are kind of just dabbling or you're aspiring or you're looking into this field. We invite everybody from all journeys, and you don't, again, have to be a designer. You don't have to have a degree. We're just a beautiful community of like-minded people looking to create healing spaces, not just for ourselves, but for our clients and future clients. Come join us at designcoven.com/join. You're listening to the Holistic Interior Design Business Podcast. This is a podcast that guides you as a new or inspiring independent interior designer navigating your entrepreneurial path. Here, with my over 20 years experience, I will share my holistic approach to design with intention and ancient practices, including feng shui, all incorporating mind, body, and spirit into my design projects. You will also learn from seasoned interior designers as they give strategies and insight of how they built their businesses and continue to work in the field. Together, we will discover supportive trade partners, new ideas, creatives, and inspiring artists from around the world. I am your host, Rachel Larraine Crawford. Hello, welcome to episode 58. Today's a solo episode, and I wanted to do a recap from San Diego Design Week because that was pretty crazy. We did 6 episodes last week exploring inspiration, which is the theme of this year's Design Week, and we explored inspiration through the senses, which was really, really cool and beautiful. So today I have a little bit of recap. Wanted to talk a bit about inspiration with me and how I connect with inspiration, because I have a different take on it with my design clients versus the business of interior design. So I thought you might be interested in that, because I get a lot of people that connect with me and ask me all the time, like, how do you stay energized? How do you stay motivated? How can you juggle all these things, still have a family? And yes, I would love to just share a little bit about that. So I'm going to go ahead and open our space. Just anchoring into our bodies, connecting to our breath. And of course, I'm lighting our candle. So I've got a beautiful Mithras Beeswax candle. So just connecting with this element of fire, creation, creativity. Perfect. I also wanted to just share that today I'm not drinking anything crazy or special. I'm drinking water. I'm feeling a little bit foggy today, so I thought water might be a nice way to get clear and clean. So water is my go-to this morning, and I'm going to pull our card. I'm pulling from the Rider-Waite Colman Smith deck, my original deck that I've had since I was 17. And let's just see what message the cards have for us today as we begin this episode. We've got the King of Wands, just fire. I'm really feeling the fire lately. And the King of Wands is here. He's a bit more structured, unlike the Queen. I feel like the Queen is more loose and very intuitive. He's got a bit more structure to him. He connects to that sign of Aries and the Emperor. So there's a bit more strategy here. There's more of a foundation, and before kind of lighting things on fire and starting to get things going. So I would say connecting with strategy, authority, power, coming up with a plan before we start going after the things. Alrighty. So yeah, the other thing I wanted to say is so many people have messaged me about the episodes and have been so excited. And if that's you and you've really enjoyed San Diego Design Week or just the podcast in general, I would be so grateful if you would rate the show and write a review so that other people can find me. Because I kind of get buried. There's so many podcasts out there. So any review or rating would help tremendously to get it out there and into the world. Or if you want to just share it on Instagram and tag me, I'll be happy to share that as well. So yeah, inspiration. So this week we had 6 guests coming on talking about inspiration, how they are inspired, what inspires them. And we had people like Tara, who's the executive chef of anime, and Kinseth, who's a composer for music. And just, we had a whole bunch of different guests. And if you haven't listened to those episodes, I invite you to check them out because they're super fun. And it just got me thinking about how I approach inspiration. And I love what Ken Seth was talking about when he was talking about just experimenting and letting things go and not having any expectation of things. And I was just so open. And I feel like sometimes we put such barriers around ourselves that something has to happen or it has to look a certain way. So I invite you to experiment, with advice from Kinseth. And I was just thinking about, with interior design, I'm really, really inspired by physical things that I can see. So a lot of times it's a color palette. It's a piece of clothing. It's art, like any of those things that are tangible, or it could even be a rug. And feelings. I know you can't necessarily see that, but I see a picture in my mind when I think words. So with design, it's literally like what I can see. That's what's going to inspire the design for me, looking at how the colors play, textures play, layering, that kind of thing. And then when I think about what inspires me in my business, that is totally different. That I'm looking at, where's there a gap, I guess? What's missing in the current market or the field that I'm working in. So like with interior design, I really saw, back when I was doing the holistic pieces, is there was like a gap between either feng shui and design or the holisticness of things and the spiritual parts of things with design. And that's when I really incorporated feng shui, Reiki, doing like these space clearings within interior design, working with my clients on a deeper level. Being able to connect with them on a spiritual level or just in a level of mindfulness that I didn't see other people doing. So that really shaped my business. Again, it was just like, where was that gap or how I can bring something that was missing into my field. And same thing happened with the mentorship group. So me creating that group, I saw that there was a gap between the space of design school and real life interior design. There just was a gap between like bridging those two things together. So that's what inspired the mentorship group, after going to these classrooms and talking to students and seeing that there was definitely a missing link between real life interior design and what we're taught in school. So that for me is where I get inspiration. It's kind of like, okay, what's missing? How can I bridge this? And I also get inspiration from other business owners. It doesn't have to be in my field at all. I'm so curious about other entrepreneurs and what they're doing and how they're evolving or how they're changing the client experience or just experiences in general. And then I look at that and see like, how can I apply that to my business? How can I bring that into what I'm doing? So I'm looking at other people for ideas. And then I also get inspired just from collaboration. I get inspired from talking to other people, finding out what they're doing. And then it's like, how can I bring that into the design world? How can I, introduce them? How can I work with them? Because I love working with other people. So I get super, super inspired just from being with other business owners, other people that are doing really rad stuff. So yeah, so this inspiration could just sort of come from all kinds of places, but I encourage you to kind of look and see like, where do you get it? Where does it spark? Where do you get that fire energy? Where do you get that excitement from? Because you might surprise yourself. I didn't really think too much about it upon, this episode. I was just like, oh, it's so distinctly different the way I get inspired for a design project versus getting inspired to be a business owner, to be an entrepreneur and that kind of thing. And then, like I said earlier, at the beginning of the podcast, with people always asking me, where am I getting the energy to do all of these businesses? Because right now I'm wrapping up the partnership interior design business. So running that, I've starting a new interior design business. So that's a whole nother thing. Then we have the business for the mentorship group to connect there. And then the podcast is sort of that third or fourth, I don't even know what number we're on, business that I'm kind of running at the moment. And I think a lot of it too is just drive, and it might just be personality. When you're excited, or when I'm excited about something, I will create that energy to make it happen. And I keep going. And I think when you're so driven and it's something that you're passionate about, it doesn't drain you like maybe a 9 to 5 might, or something that you feel like you're dragging your feet into doing it. And like I said, it's also maybe a personality trait. So yeah, that's just part of who I am. But I also have a lot of support too. I will say that my husband does a ton of stuff for me. So he really helps out with the kids. He makes breakfast, makes dinner. He's home early to be with the kids, and then also just all the support that I get from him, and he helps, run errands and that kind of thing. So I do have help that way. I have Blake that helps me, and I have Marcy that edits the podcast. So I've really, especially this year, have embraced receiving help and delegating. And I think that too is another secret, is that there are people that want to assist, and they want to help, and they want to be part of things that you're excited about. So don't be afraid to accept some of that, or to hire help. And you don't have to hire somebody full time. It could just be a part-time thing. And I think, also hiring people for like design, for drafting and 3D rendering and that kind of thing also kind of relieves some of the pressure from my plate. But yeah, I just wanted to do a little recap solo episode, just talking about inspiration. And I hope what I'm doing inspires you to create your business the way you envision it. I hope it inspires you to bridge a gap where there's something that's missing, either in the design field or in your own business, whatever that looks like, because there's always a way to create, and a way to be inspired. And and I pulled a card this morning on Instagram, which was the 8 of Swords. And I always think of that card as feeling trapped or stuck. And every time I get that card, it's like, oh, we're not trapped. No matter how much it looks like we are, we're just not. It's the way we look at it. It's the way we spin it. It's the way we think about it. So getting out of our own traps there too can be really inspiring. And like I said at the beginning of the episode, if this is a podcast that you're enjoying, please, I'm asking for you to rate it and to share it with others. Write a review. That'd be so huge, and I'd be forever grateful. And we're not doing a Thursday episode this week, just because we did a big blast of episodes for San Diego Design Week. But come in October, we will be back at our schedule, Tuesday, Thursday episode. So I think this is our last episode for the month of September. And like I said, send me your messages, send me your DMs. I'd love to hear from all of you and what you think about episodes. Alrighty, take care, and I hope you leave inspired. You've been listening to the Holistic Interior Design Business Podcast. If it's one that you have been enjoying, please share with anyone else that you think can benefit from this knowledge, and leave us a 5-star review. That helps us get seen and found by other new and aspiring interior designers. And if you're looking for mentorship, I invite you to join our club here at the Design Coven. It's a bridge between school and real life interior design. We get in much deeper there. We have virtual and in-person events, so everyone is welcome. You don't need to have a design degree to be part of it, just an interest in holistic interior design. I also want to thank our editor, Marcy Ferry, and lastly, Kinseth Thibodeau, who is our music composer. Until next time, be well, and we will see each other soon.